Hi guys, today's video is my participation in the Scavenger Hunt Extreme Edition. This was created by Dani Buttons on YouTube and I was tagged by the lovely Jamie's Colouring Love here on YouTube. Both those channels will be down below. Before I start, I'm actually going to pop who I'm going to tag because otherwise I forget, let's be honest. I'm terrible. So I want to tag Elmcolors for this challenge. I want to also tag Colouring with Pattern Wilson, and I am of course going to tag Rosie from Rosie Crafted Colours. And I apologise now guys because this is a mean tag. These were hard to find. If any of you watched my colouring chat, you know for a fact I had to cheat and resort to you guys helping me with one of these. So let's get started. So for this you have to find 11 prompts from pages, and yeah, she wasn't kidding with this one. So prompt number 1, you have to find a map. So I used my Mouse Guard by David Peterson, and in the back page you have this big map. So I selected that one. For prompt number 2, you had to find eggs, and I went with Twilight Garden by Maria Troll. It's a beautiful book, this one, and I really like this egg nest page that she has, this double page spread with the black background. So I selected that one. Prompt number 3, you had to find a hair bun. So of course I had to go with a Christine Karen because they're just fabulous books, these, and I went with Fairy and Fantasy. I collect the grayscale ones of hers, you can get them all in line art as well, and I went with this beautiful page. It's called Lilies and Pearls, so that looks quite fun. And I have seen that I think she's called Art by Karen Valentine on YouTube. She's done a colouring tutorial of this one, so might have to have a little look and check that one out. These are on the nicer paper now, which is nice. For prompt number 4, the full moon. So of course, yet again, I pulled this book out as I constantly do and then not end up colouring it, but here's hoping yet again. I've got this Heather Valentine volume 53 Lunar Mysteries book, and I love this one. It's a fabulous book with lovely pages. It's a bit smaller than average, so you think I would have actually cracked on with it by now, but apparently not. Look at these. And of course it is a Lunar Mysteries book, so there's a lot of moons in these pages, and I thought this one looked really fun, so I've picked her, and hopefully we'll get around to her at some point in my life. So that was number 4. Number 5, I struggled a little bit because you need birch trees, which, to be honest, birch trees are a little bit they're kind of difficult to distinguish until they're coloured because they're quite a silvery, pale bark that kind of breaks free on the sides. So I just picked something vaguely similar in shape, and then I can colour it into the what's the word I'm looking for, into the pattern that it would be. So what you've got in the background here, there's just a few of these thin trees that don't really have any branches, and they would be birch trees. You can see the distinctive pattern because she's kind of drawn where they're breaking on the sides, which is what birch trees do. The bark breaks away. So I went with this Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings by Hannah Lynn, and selected that page. Not the most difficult, surprisingly enough, in this challenge, wasn't the birch trees. For prompt number 6, you had to find a motorcycle, and I kind of figured that probably the best thing for this would be the trusty Colin Thompson book, because they are so very kind of, you know, that sort of very busy pictures, and I did indeed find him. One motorbike. So, and I think it's actually Santa on a motorbike, so fair enough. So I was pleased that that also was not the hardest one that I had to find. My real struggle was prompt number 7. You have to find bananas. And apparently nobody colours them. So you guys helped me. And someone suggested the sweet shop, which I don't actually have. So the other suggestion was A Romantic Country, The Second Tale by Airy. And she even kindly told me it's on page 1112. So she also did all the work for me. And bananas. I own over 300 books. And no word of a lie, I've scrolled through quite a few of them looking for bananas, and ridiculous. You've outdone yourself there, Dani. That was particularly brutal. I actually thought I was going to have to do the video and say that I could not find one of the prompts. So we've then got prompt number 8 is to find a key, which obviously is much simpler. I've got my trusty Johanna Basford's Secret Garden, and for once I actually picked a page that I've coloured. And we have one key. Not overdoing it in any way, just one. And this is a lovely little page that I did practicing my inks. I have a couple of the distress inks, but mainly the Memento ink pads, the little dewdrop ink pads. So I did that, and then the middle is crayon and white gel pen. So I just thought for once I'll show something coloured in. Prompt number 9 is sports, and she did say that if you can, she wants kind of the more traditional televised proper sports rather than, you know, random things like table tennis, I think. So in my new book, Ava Brown, Chibi Girls 2 Grayscale, I did actually manage to find a baseball player. So I'm hoping that's mainstream enough for kind of what she meant. And we have one Grayscale chibi girl playing baseball. So, can you hear my stomach rumble? I'm so sorry. It's all... I always sound like I'm starving. I promise I do eat. So that is that one. And for prompt number 10, so we're nearly there now, guys, not a long one, you had to find an otter. And I remember actually when I did the flip through mentioning that, like, oh, I think I found an otter in Fragile World by Kirby Rosanis. This is his new one, and this book is absolutely fabulous. It's Fragile World, Colour Nature's Wonders. And this is a bit like the Tim Jeffs that he's done, you know, kind of raising awareness for endangered species and giving some information on them. And he's removed all his doodles and colour for yourself pages and just gone back to a more traditional colour book page with all of his usual details in on his lovely paper. And we have one otter. And the reason I know for sure it is definitely an otter is because he gives you lovely information. What page is it? 66. On the back, telling you what they are. If I can find the page. I have proof. Page 67, Sea Otters, and they are endangered. and it says sea otters live along the coast of the Pacific Ocean in North America and Asia, and they play an important role in maintaining the health of kelp forests by eating sea urchins. And I love this. I have been kind of just reading this a little bit to read up on the animals in the book, and just really interesting little tidbits of information on them. So I have one sea otter, and I have proof that that's what it is, as I wasn't originally too sure. And so I have him, which is a gorgeous version of an otter, I do believe. And then the last point, number 11, is a bonus point, and you need to find an outfit that you'd like to wear. So I went with another Christine Karen, the new one, the Fairy and Fantasy 2 book that she's come out with, and I went with this one. I love coats, big, comfortable, fluffy, fur trimmed, long winter coats, so I just quite liked this one, and it's definitely the season for them, so I picked that page as my outfit to wear. And this is on the nicer paper as well, and as always it's the grayscale version, as those are the ones I prefer, and these pictures are just absolutely gorgeous, fabulous. Could have picked a few outfits out of here, I do believe. So that is my choices for the prompt, and as I said at the beginning, I have tagged Elmcolors, Rosie Crafted Colours and Colouring with Pat and Wilson. And of course, if I did not tag you and you want to do the tag, everybody's always welcome to do any tag they want to in the colouring community. Nothing's ever closed off to you in that way. But if you don't feel comfortable just jumping in, then you can use me as your tag. I will tag you, no problem. So apart from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you did, pop the thumbs up for me so I know the kind of videos that you prefer, and I will see you in the next one.